Thank you.
So then I thought. Because I'm not changing. Yeah, yeah.
You saw Christina?
Yeah, she was in my pastries. I thought,
Choosing pastries over board.
no, I think it's not kind of, is it?
I guess right now it's about 5:28.
It's not, can I get it dry?
49.
Hey, did you get my text?
Yeah.
My water bottle is in
Oh,
the
yeah.
van.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you.
I had that conversation. I had a terrible day. Lost my phone, water bottle. I was thinking. I'll never live that one down.
I was thinking, who of my friends is intellectual that might have a NASA water bottle?
I moved out tomorrow. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's my car's not out here, so I don't. I get it, yeah, I figured it was yours.
I heard that.
Yeah, but,
Steve, guys. Yeah.
I started-
There's not a lot of context into it. Well, we have four.
It's kind of like
You got
you're
it.
cleaning.
We got Lisa.
You can't really use it for support because it needs back too far.
Hi, Lisa, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Awesome, thank you. Let's call this meeting to order.
Chair Hoddington. Here. Vice Chair Newland. Here. Secretary Patterson. Board Representative Heck. Here. Board Member Haney.
Here.
Board Member Short.
Here.
And Board Member Wells. Here. We have a quorum.
Awesome, all right, let's take a minute to approve the agenda.
Somebody's gotta make a motion. Well, we're discussing.
These things.
Ruben, how do we make an amendment to this, to maybe add something?
Yeah, you want
We have to approve this first and then,
no, you can go ahead and add. You can make a motion to add, what do you want to add?
I'd like to make a motion to add, we get a subcommittee to prepare a presentation for study sessions at the city council or the town trustees. I always want to say town council, but they don't go by that. So I'd like to make a motion to form a subcommittee, to talk about forming a subcommittee, to discuss forming a subcommittee to prepare a presentation for a study session for the board. Town board.
Second that. Okay. All in favor?
Hi.
I agree, second.
Aye.
Aye. Then I move, we approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, minutes from, do you have those minutes
I didn't read that.
from July?
Yeah, they see that.
They're in the packet.
Okay,
You want me to get it?
oh, I read it.
We move, Tom and I move, we approve the minutes.
That's right. He moves, I second.
There we go.
All right, let's move on.
Well, you got a motion and a second.
Yeah.
How do you vote? Yeah, all in favor?
Oh.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, next
Don't
item.
you ask for any nays? Or do you just assume we all did yay?
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Actions and presentations. Item number 1. Town park trees. So I want to open. Yeah, you want to move that? Oh, yeah,
Oh, it is.
it is up
It's
there.
next.
Yeah, I missed it. Sorry. Public comment. Let's open the floor to public comments. Schwartz.
Oh, great. Okay, hello, Bailey Tree Board. My name is Kathy Schwartz. I live in town. And I was a lucky participant of the Sick Tree Day this Saturday, and I want to give you a status update. So I have this massive blue spruce that's in front of my house. And it's almost hitting the power lines, et cetera. So my first question to the tree board was, should I cut this down? And there was some discussion, and ultimately we came to, we should get rid of it. And so I had this in my brain, and somebody said, you should talk to DMPA. Well, literally yesterday, I'm in my house working, and a DMPA truck pulls right next to my house. And I'm like, so I go out and I knock on his window, and I'm like, hi, so I live here, and I think this tree needs to be pruned. He said, who should I talk to? He said, me. I'm the vegetation manager, and literally I'm writing down that this tree needs to be taken out. So, because it's a safety hazard, and I had already come to this idea like, yep, I gotta get rid of this tree and plant something else. They're gonna have their contractor remove the thing in the next week or 2, and then I can replant it. So I just wanna say thank you, because you all helped me get clarity that this is the right decision, and then I can get something planted, and I'm really, really grateful for your advice. So that's my public comment to you all.
That's excellent.
You are so sweet to come and say that.
Yeah.
Well, I thought, oh, the tree board's meeting now, I didn't even tell you, because I'm like, that's such a great, like, it was just fortuitous.
It sounds like you have some money in your budget now for next year's growth because they're gonna take care of that tree.
Exactly, and then I can plant a new one, and I'm sure.
There you go.
it'll be your advice.
That's
So,
excellent.
okay, that's all, and
Thank
thank
you.
you all for your work.
Thank you.
That's it.
Can I just add one quick thing that I didn't think about for years till today? It has to do with this. DMEA does prune trees that get the power lines. And when you think about the storms and weak wooded trees like we have with the elms and the silver maples, and weak wooded wood could fall, snap a power line, it's swinging around, catches fire or something, and then we have wildfire. So I never thought about that connection.
As a resource for.
Yeah, for preventing fires.
Or for problem areas. How do we-
Because we see it all over. You guys can drive any street in Delta County and you'll see this. And you don't think about the mitigation that needs to happen, that it's potential fire.
Well, that's why PG&E got sued, caboozles.
Yeah, they need.
You know, and the town's having a trash problem. I mean, the trash rates are going up. And a lot has to do with, you don't have a place to go with compostable material. Getting rid of the junk trees would actually help them along a lot. And I think they appreciate it. You don't really know until you do it. I mean, Kathy's out there and I'm here. She's not here.
Thank you all. Thank you,
Well.
Kathy.
I guess a question I would have is how, if we have a situation, we ask DMEA and then they sort of butcher the tree.
Oh, they do.
Oh, they do.
Why not? I mean, removing it.
to go by certain standards or setbacks.
Yeah, I'd be specific to Siberian elm and some that, not just weed list. Actually, if they really want to push the issue, we could stop it. But if
Well,
we're,
right, that's right, they do have
if
that.
we're copacetic, and it makes us look good at least. We're calling the cows.
But in a way, we could warn them, or, I mean, if we felt it was really dangerous, we could write up a formal thing from the tree board, half a page, and just say, put it on their door and just say, we've noticed this tree and, you might want to look at it first, otherwise DMEA may be coming.
I've taken one down, it's $1,700. I swear, if it's in the power line, DMA will do it for nothing, probably do it for nothing.
They'll take it down to a safe distance unless you approach them and tell them, I want that whole tree removed. You have to contact them and tell them you want that tree removed.
That's a very good point, because the homeowner could just do that.
However, though, if you're talking right-of-way trees.
Yeah.
Who owns those and who makes that call? The homeowner or the town? I just, that's a rhetorical question, I guess, but, I
You're
mean,
coming back full circle. to
yeah,
that.
yeah.
First meeting we were.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, who makes that call? Is the town supposed to say, hey, no, we want this pruned, or we want it moved? But you're right, it's not the home, is it the homeowner's call?
In a way, I think the homeowner should be
homeowner's the one
noticed
that's
first,
there.
and then
Sure.
it plays out somehow, you know?
That could be presented to the town council. You know, I'm sure they'll have their opinions, but, oh, I'm sure of that.
It sounded like Kathy's example is a perfect example. The tree needed to come out. So that's good. But if it's a pruning situation, I mean, I'm just saying, I've seen some trees that are absolutely butchered,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and
Well, I have too, in my experiences, and that's why I mentioned to her to contact EMA, because they won't do it unless you ask them to. They'll just come in and do the clearance that is required by
but you mean the removal part,
the removal part. And they'll just do what is required to legally, to clear it to the certain distance that they need to clear it from. And, you know, but they're more than happy to do it because ultimately they remove it now, get rid of the problem, then they don't have to prune it again in 3 years or whatever their rotation.
When when you approach the board, she's fine, Kathy was on the finance
Yeah,
committee, and she asked me to bring it up. You need to request a budget from the town council with stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe if we take bad trees out, we could replant good trees, stuff like that. I don't have a problem with that.
Kathy, was it a right-of-way tree or was it a private tree?
that was for
Private.
private tree.
Private tree.
But it was, it's impacting the line, right? So, yeah, I think for the right-of-way tree, I think it's a good resource for the homeowner. If is a tree that's poor condition or impacting the line, then the removal may be the option. But I'm still thinking this process of like, we're not wanting the MEA just to come in and just go to town.
they won't.
They won't do that.
They cost some money.
Yeah,
Well, we could just qualify it Siberian elm, we could go out and mark them.
well, I'll take you to task on that. I mean, if we took out all the Siberian elm, we're gonna lose more than half our shade in this
50%
town.
of our.
Yes, we will, but we could replant with something that's decent.
Show me the trees that are doing well in this climate right now.
So Siberian elm grows well everywhere.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Wings and it can survive.
That's why we have them, but I'm just saying if we put them on the let's remove list, then we're
Let's
gonna,
not remove them until we're capable of planting and watering them.
we can't even keep a tree alive, you know, like I'm just saying, like we've gotta be thoughtful about
I
the.
think with if you notice one, to write up, like she said, something that says, you know, we've noticed this tree may become a problem with the power lines, we wanna let you know. PG&E will come in and
Yeah.
whack enough to get it away from the power lines, but if you want it removed, there's the possibility. If you talk to them, and what that does is just exactly what she said. She thanked us for preparing her to be able to have an opportunity to think about it and adjust her mind. So when that guy came, she was ready. And I think that's one of the biggest benefits of letting people know.
Right, that was good. That would played out really nicely, didn't it? And that's a good resource.
Well, I think what we can do in the future is have a better communication with DMA's vegetation manager and find out when they're gonna be in town, and then we could put something out on the web or whatever, just to inform the citizens that they're coming to town. And they have the right to go in their backyards and everything else to do clearance. And just to let them know, and then also say, if you have a tree that you don't love anymore, it's been whacked several times, that you can request that DMA remove it. So that's something to think about in the future.
Well, and if somebody loves a tree, you know, just being prepared for the impact of It can be traumatic when somebody cuts and
I've
whacks
seen
them.
some people get fruity upset.
Yeah,
It's a mixed bag out there.
You can also be out there when they're cutting and like sort of just be out there and state your case and they go easy on those trees. Oh, they do, yeah. Done that a number of times.
Okay. We've,
Then I took the chains off, go around.
all right, are we complete with that
Yeah. that's a good-
public comment? All right, let's move on to item number 1, town park trees. So I think we did meet with the sick tree day and just talked about this briefly. I think this speaks to a bigger issue about planting and then having them taken care of. And I think this is, it's hard to move forward with this plan until we have a plan with the watering. And I do think that we've talked about a volunteer water group. And I think we'd have to have that in place. Yeah,
I'm kind of stealing Nikki's
number 2,
discussion.
yeah,
But the town is starting to take bids on putting in a new irrigation system in the town park.
okay,
So it's on the agenda, supposedly funded everything. My guess is to do this expedient, you probably want to draw out a plan for what trees you want to plant, where you want to plant them, go through the politics of the whole thing.
yeah,
Nikki would be important, and Stefan, of course. And then there's the council, which will pretty much,
right. So you're saying that we figure out the plan and then wait on this
the irrigation system. I don't like to get the cart ahead of the horse.
Yeah,
I
right,
mean, we'd be running, you might just accidentally plant a tree in the midst of
right.
where they want to run the irrigation.
I think just the opposite of what you said, irrigation plan has to go in first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Then
that's what,
you,
no, that's what I'm saying.
oh, I.
that's what I.
We don't plan, like we just look at it, but then
But if we
Subject.
don't plant, it's easily to remove that tree feet, whatever direction.
it's a timeline on that, Mike, what do you think?
Well, that you'd have to talk to, like I said, they're taking bids and that's tentative, that's it. But that's something you need to talk to Stefan, or Nikki would probably bid.
Yeah,
And just one comment, I would like the tree board to be involved in the reviewing of that plan. If ultimately, when they go put it on the ground, 'cause
Oh, the
you
irrigation
gotta watch
system.
where you're putting your trenches. So you don't
Good
you
point.
minimize the.
That's a good point.
percent of the
Yeah.
trees.
yeah, okay,
We won't have the last word on that, I'm sure.
well, right, but I guess
That is a good point.
that's a very good point. So let's put that as a note. Follow up on, right, I mean, Tom, you have experience with that?
I've dabbled in it in my past, my career, so yes,
Irrigation,
yeah.
yeah, we haven't that done well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See the results.
But that will probably be lined out by Nikki, right? Mike, like
She'll have.
in
she'll have
an
very-
agenda item.
She'll
in a-
have to say every.
Well,
No, I mean like a comprehensive overlay of what the park, why and what's coming and at a trustee meeting, probably Nikki will come and do a little PowerPoint thing, right?
Eventually.
I'm thinking it'll be a consultant.
But we need to be, yeah, we do need to be consulted, I think.
yeah,
Understand, but it's like,
there's gonna be a plan.
yeah,
A plan that shows the park, the tree locations and where they're gonna put it. Now, maybe if it's a good irrigator, good gate, they're gonna take that into consideration. But you can't be running an irrigation, a trench within feet.
Any good irrigation consultant would know all that.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, but sometimes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's
that's why
right.
it's nice to have it like presented to the trustees, have the tree board like in the audience, and ask questions, so it's more of a conversation that
You gotta get permission to do that.
Right, we're like sort of presenting that to you to like see that idea.
I'm a low guy on the totem pole, so.
We have a much better solution. We meet with Nick, we're supposed to meet every 2 weeks or whatever. We can talk there.
Yeah, talk to Nikki.
Just ask her to be involved in the process.
So bids are out for this, Mike, and is that something slated for this year? We don't know.
Don't know.
Uh-huh.
Price determines everything, and that's probably, I mean, there's a lot of variables in there.
Okay.
Price is gonna be the determinant factor. And when the irrigation company probably put it in.
Did you say they have some funding designated for it?
You should request it.
No,
Or is this
Did
for
you
the
say that
budget
they have some-
process, and maybe if that forward for next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
do they have funding for the irrigation?
What Mike said, no, there,
It's,
this,
Can I hear him?
it's technically funded. To the best of my knowledge, I got it from Stefan at the last board.
That there
meeting.
is funding put aside for that?
Yes,
Okay,
some money. I don't know how much, and there's a lot of variables. We didn't get into details on it that had sort of bigger issue. The trash thing's a big deal right now.
I just want to make one last comment, hopefully on this first one. We had 5 trees already staked and flagged. And we all know what happened. That's just all I'm gonna say.
What happened?
they got mixed.
I don't know what happened.
The whole thing
well, they
fell
probably,
off the cliff.
if they were staked, like could have toward the mower and they had to take them out because of the mower?
The whole thing never
Concept.
happened.
No, but when you said-
We never got the money to buy the trees to plant them.
No, but you had the stakes in the ground where you wanted them to go. Did you have a plan written for that?
Yes.
Do we still
Public
have,
Works knew all of the
do we
whole.
still have that plan?
That's not the point. The point was Public Works knew our plan and was approved. And it just never happened.
But do we still have that piece of paper that you
Yeah, we
used?
know where that, yeah, we know where we,
So you don't have to redo that part of it.
no,
Like, all that's gonna change with the new irrigation. If that happens. You know, They'll be shifted.
Yeah, but we will have a place to start from, right? Maybe we have to shift them, but we have where we started. What, all that work was already done to figure that out, right?
May I ask a question that's sort of related to tree park or park trees?
Sure.
I know that our issue right now is like, we don't wanna put trees in the ground because we can't water them. Someone from the public who lives in town asked me, actually at Pickin' in the Park recently, what our feelings, would we be up for planting trees on private property in town? No,
Well, no.
okay,
House-
and then they can water it. I think the
It's not my
idea is.
poker face, I'm like.
Yeah. No,
what?
the
town
idea
pays
is
for
that
frontage.
since we don't have a way to water trees right now with, if you lived in town, basically they would be responsible for watering
There's
trees.
hope
then,
to
but it would
plant
be
them
like a
in the
way.
parking strip.
Okay.
And then they could water them. But.
It was his idea of like a way to get trees planted.
In the right of way, that could be
Okay.
something to talk about.
Okay,
Sure.
might be interesting. I don't know.
So I have a question for you, Tom and Mark. If you put in an irrigation system, is that watering typically adequate for new trees?
Not, in my opinion, no.
I agree.
Well, it depends how long you run it, and it's not for irrigation. No,
I disagree with that.
You still,
you probably have to water them in.
to have a tree get established, to be healthy, it needs supplemental water for 2 to 3 years. That meaning you come in on a monthly or whatever time and just give it extra water. Because particularly if you plant a tree like in Town Park, those big trees, the grass is gonna compete with the newer tree and take the resources away from it. And so we need to add more water, extra water to those trees until they get established. And once the roots get out of the tree in 2 to 3 years, then it can compete for itself with the water that it gets from the irrigation system.
What about those big donut bag things that, no?
That's an option for us to to explore for supplemental water.
Okay.
Certainly, it's a viable process. So
So
we still need to water the trees.
the irrigation system is gonna solve the problem for mature trees, which is great, right, which we need, this is good. But then we're still gonna need a plan to work with the town in some capacity so that the new trees get what they need in that first 2 to 3 years.
Mhm.
Especially if it's the summer, like this summer, right?
Are you familiar with polymer? I'm just vaguely familiar with it.
Polymer?
There's polymers that you can get, that's what you use, like what florists use. You
Yeah.
put a flower in there and that's that gel
Yeah.
that they go into the.
Try to hold more
It
water.
holds 400 times
Retains
its
more
weight in
water.
water.
I think it does work, but I think if you dedicate yourself to watering it, your trees in a systematic way, in a timely manner, every 2 to 3 weeks, whatever you determine, that would be just as well than the added expense of the polymer.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know what it costs or anything.
I don't either.
I think the polymer breaks down, it's a
It will
polymer,
eventually breaks
so
down.
it's gonna break down probably before.
It should, I mean, it wouldn't be okay if it didn't break down. Then it would.
Right, but
You're
if
saying,
it
Mike-
breaks down in the first year, you spent all that, after a year that you spent all that money on that, and then you still have to water
I mean, it
it.
would be interesting though to see like costs per tree, if you put it in with the tree, knowing that it might help, right? It's gonna help some,
Yeah,
that first
It
year,
holds water.
holds water.
I'm sure there's some sort of research that's been done out there somewhere that you could maybe try to look at.
But BLM plants trees, after burns and such.
Right,
You just plant them, put a little polymer on it or in it, blend it in some. I don't know the process. They water
No,
in and that's it.
That's it, but that's all the water, extra water they get.
That's it.
And they're this big.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're just babies.
They're babies.
yeah,
So I could see that work.
and less than 1% die, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Half.
Right. So to sort of bring a close to that is we would still need to talk about whatever this volunteer water group or just to make sure, because one of our goals is to not put this on the town as another to-do item. If we can work that out, like if we can actually come up with a group during the summer that would take care of some of these trees, and we had talked about having access to signing a liability waiver and having some training for a couple of people.
I think that's a good thing to bring up to Nikki, one of the things, when we get to tour,
Right.
right, for sure. Is she up for that, having because we're gonna do work on that. And
Would you
we don't wanna do all that work until.
Yeah.
We don't wanna do that work until.
Yeah, until somebody tells us it's okay.
Once a month, maybe if you
There's
water
no
it
point in like
adequately,
getting it all
you give it a big drink.
Yeah,
You
what was
gotta
it?
treat them out.
Okay.
What's that?
Right now, the municipality.
Okay, we had too many
We have a
conversations.
lot of fun.
You said that it'd be good to bring this up to Nick.
Yeah, like when we get to number 4, we're gonna make a list of things we really wanna have you guys sit down and talk to Nikki about, and that's one of them.
And Tom's saying once a month to water, right?
Right.
What were you gonna say?
I mean, if you're watering them properly.
Yeah,
I mean, the key is you can't go and splash a gallon of water on
yeah,
and call it adequate. It
50
has to be
50 plus
50
gallons.
plus, yeah. You have to give it a big drink.
I thought, and only once a month?
If we have the supplemental, if we have
If
the
we're
proper
getting some
irrigation.
Oh, got it, okay.
Which honestly, that's easy, because if there are 7 of us on this board, everybody takes a month, you do it twice a year, you're on volunteer duty, great.
Right, we can find other people, I think, too. that-
Yeah, I mean, right, it doesn't have to just be us, but I mean,
Right.
we've got enough people in this room to not, I don't think it would have to be a burden, you know?
Speak for yourself.
Very true, very true, making love.
All right,
And
good.
can I just speak to
Sure.
item number 1? I guess just let it be known that every time we take a tree down, as you said, I believe, we put in another one. So that's just law of the tree board across the board.
That's been our goal for years.
Should be, yeah. So we have to plant 5 trees in that park, somehow figure that out. We took down 2 at the children's area, we took down 2 behind the gazebo and 1 big, whatever that was, maple.
And we planted one.
And we planted one, but that was sort of Arbor Day, so that was a different,
Yeah,
I would say we're due 5
So-
trees, the park is
so-
due 5 trees.
the park is due 5. And then after that, it's right-of-way trees that there's spaces, right? We're looking at these succession right-of-way trees, but that would require the watering because they're not getting irrigated, so like we're trying to figure out, there's a lot of opportunity along the streets if we choose appropriate tree, work with the owner, we could figure out some kind of way to go 50-50 on it perhaps. But anyway, that's another conversation, once we get this part figured out.
And I think before we move on from number 1, we have to make a determination, like what species, like what we're
Yeah,
going to
that's
plant.
important.
Yeah.
So you didn't have that when you marked out, that's what I was asking earlier, when
We
you
did,
marked,
yeah.
did you have trees picked out?
Well,
It is availability in a nursery at the time of planting. It's always gonna be that way. Like if you wait till fall, slim pickings. In the spring, a lot of times you have, say, 5 species to select. By fall, you might have 1 or 2. So it all
So you
depends.
guys had, all I was asking is you hadn't,
So we have a list, we have the select, right? We're not planting any Siberian elms, right? We're just gonna. But we have a list.
Here's the simple answer. We're going off our
to be determined,
selected tree list.
to be determined at the time of funding?
Yeah.
Or the time of purchase?
Yeah.
All right,
so we're not gonna make a determination now, or we're just gonna?
I don't think we're gonna determine
Well,
that
we're not
now.
buying them until the spring, we don't really know when it'll be available, is what he's saying.
We could get them in the fall. Who knows that water?
No, I don't think they have a lot of selection.
But
I
he
just
said
called 2 nurseries.
If you water them in the fall, then you have to water them in the winter. I mean, if you plant them in the fall, you have to
You
water
have
them
to
in
be
the winter, so
committed
better
to
to
watering
early
in the
spring.
winter, and if it's a winter like we had last year, they may not survive.
Yeah.
But shouldn't you water in the winter, even if?
Yeah, unless we have substantial moisture.
But we're
Well,
talking
let them get
about,
started, before they go through.
but we're talking about having the irrigation figured out first.
Can't do.
I was gonna say, that's gonna be a while.
And that may not
That's not
happen.
happening in a month.
5 years.
I mean, we're gonna be lucky if it happens by spring, and then that's not a reflection on the council, it's just, it all takes time, right? Like.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean,
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, that wasn't you, it's not, it's just, it all's gonna take.
So first we have to have
time, so.
solicit for a bid, you have to get
Yeah,
a plan submitted by the contractors, and then you have to pick, and that's not happening. It just-
that's at least 3 months right there, right? So, yeah, I don't even know.
The January, December, December.
Yeah. And then they're probably not putting in an irrigation system in January. I mean, who wants to
They
dig?
can put in the bare
ground?
bones and.
They can trench.
Yeah, they can do a little
put it
bit,
in,
but-
But they can't activate the system.
Yeah, so
Particularly if it's ran.
So we're
off
really
the
talking about
edge.
next spring at the
earliest, I think, yeah.
Probably the spring after.
Which would give all of us time to be really prepared for them to like be standing there with our trees ready.
Nice reframe, I like that.
Ready. We'll be prepared.
Ready. Okay, can we move on from item 1?
One quick clarification. How did the oak tree get bought? How did it get to the park?
Is that the
For the
Arbor Day
Arbor Day tree?
I purchased.
That's all I
Tom
wanted, that's all I wanted to
Yeah.
do. I wanted to be on the record.
I got reimbursed.
Okay.
I know, but still, that's what it came to.
Yeah.
It came to that.
Because we were looking at a lot of nurseries calling,
It just, that's what it came to.
Well, that's,
From a year ago, how it
Well,
was clean and smooth, and then it came to that.
I don't have a problem going to a nursery and selecting trees and bringing them.
But Tom, we had this all
I
in
know.
place last year.
I know.
It was all done, and then it just fell off the cliff. I didn't know if you want to. Thank you.
No, I purchased it and I did get reimbursed. Right. Sure.
who purchased the coffee tree? Just kidding.
all right.
All right, moving on.
Moving on from item 1 to item number 2. This is in reference to an email from Stefan requesting. Good. Yeah, number 2, requesting a comprehensive training session for staff on proper tree trimming practices, particularly along rights of way. So there was one training that happened, when was that? April?
Maybe whenever, this
Couple weeks ago.
spring, yeah.
This spring. So let's just open the floor of comments on that.
Oh, I know the reason, town, they hired somebody new to send them out to trim trees. Kind of got overzealous about the whole thing.
Right.
And it really was a butcher job. So,
Well, if it was those trees we looked at the other day, the pruning technique wasn't bad. I didn't have a problem.
We may be talking about two different trees.
But maybe
We
we're
could be-
talking about two different
Yeah.
trees. But yes, they need to have knowledge, not only on proper pruning techniques, but they also need to have a protocol on how they handle it. For starts, I mean, you can't go over property line with your pruning, even if you're making a bad pruning cut. You can't go into the tree and reach into the person's property. You can prune up to the property line, but you can't go beyond. But first, before they start pruning, they need to go knock on the door and tell them what they're gonna do.
good point.
You can't go and just walk into somebody, you can't go into their yard unless you have permission. That's even to go and pick up the branches that you dropped in their yard.
I mean, I know we're the tree board, but this feels like a public works issue.
Yeah.
They're just saying more
But it's
training.
setting them up for proper procedures where they know what to do. And then we can teach them proper pruning techniques, but they also have to have a protocol set in place.
In place, yeah.
When they go, and they should do that anyway.
I was gonna say, that's
Whatever.
kind of on their department,
When they're
right?
gonna go
But what
on a
happens
meter
is
or
when-
whatever, they need to go to the door, knock on it.
They didn't do that.
Sure.
So then the homeowner comes to us. So
That's fine, but that's still an SOP item for
Yeah.
public works, like we
Yeah.
can't set their standard operating procedures in terms of how. We can just be like, when you're pruning, this cut is wrong, or right, I don't know how to.
But to his point, if you prune on the boundary line, it's not a good cut, right?
That's what you
Well,
want to do.
But that's what you gotta do.
But you gotta do regardless,
That's why
right?
we're having this conversation.
Right.
So you know, then if it's a good cut, then it's permission and working with the owner.
But if
Sure.
if the owner gives permission to prune it correctly, then
Right.
that's a different
Sure.
thing. And they gotta know what they're doing when they go inside the
Exactly.
line.
So is Tom gonna do a show and tell pruning day for public works?
If they want me to, I can.
So I would just say the last couple of years, we've had 2 or 3 of those,
Mhm.
and what happens is there's a turnover. in public
Yeah.
works. So you don't get the same people.
They don't pass it along.
But it's good to have the whole staff there, even if they've seen it 10 times, at the 11th time, we'll.
Maybe we can film it also and give them access to that video, so when they get new people.
Yeah, or there's
They can
plenty
watch
of good videos out there on YouTube.
So ideal time, Tom, for this in your mind is when?
I would prefer to do it in the spring, before the, or late winter, before the trees leaf out, so they can see the structure.
February, March?
Yeah.
Okay, 2026?
Yep.
All right. We'll get back.
Ruben, do you have a?
I have a suggestion. You could also record them and add them to your tree board page on the website.
Oh, that's a great
They can always
idea,
reference it anytime.
because that's useful for everybody, not just
Like a
public
Word
works.
file or MP4?
You're not only training public works, but you're also informing the public
Yeah,
as well as how to train.
I can film it and then I can work with you to get it maybe on the
Yeah.
website. Yeah.
Nice, good videos.
And that way, you guys don't have to take your time out to train in public works all the time. You can say, hey, watch this video.
It's right there. And it's also a great resource. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a really good idea.
And they should set aside like an hour for public works to do.
Yeah, so we should send some videos to,
Um,
you know, we
and
can do
maybe-
this, but here's videos for, you can
Now.
look at tomorrow.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's also, again, which is something that's what you're just bringing up, to bring up with Nikki, you know, about the YouTube videos. Because it's like 1 or 2 times doesn't really like, you can't figure out how to like prune a tree in like 2 30-minute segments. You've just got to really dive into it. Or have a designated person that, you know, the tree board works with, or you're sure that it's that person. Also, it's like, I wish that Public Works would just work with the tree board more. Like, in a way, I think we should have known, like, that they were working on this sidewalk thing, because there's a lot of things that go along with the trees and the buckling of sidewalks and, you know, that the tree board has been working on. So it would have been nice to hear that from Nikki, that, oh, we're doing this now, safe paths to school. It didn't make any sense at all where they started. It's a dead end street. It's got 20 feet of sidewalk. And they took off, like, if you look at Deborah's tree, you can't see that it's huge, but it was a truckload full of her thing. Now the sun at 3 o'clock comes straight into her window and it's blaring hot, and she notices that, and that's horrifying that someone did that to her tree, private tree. So it was a big deal, and I wish that the tree board is kept in the loop with Public Works. I think it's a big issue.
We'll talk.
I mean, it's like, there's a
know that
lot of
now.
resources, on this board, and we're here to help. It doesn't,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think we
That's all.
need to reestablish that relationship we had with Public
with
Works.
Cory.
When
Yeah.
Cory was here, we had a good relationship, and we had a protocol in place. He made the phone call. That just dropped off like a lot of
I know,
stuff.
you could call him directly, like, and I don't know that
Right.
anybody has, okay, I'm just gonna stop.
All right.
No, that's good. That's good.
So videos, we can identify some videos.
Yeah.
Just-
That's good.
Let's do that, and then we can
There's some
let
good
Stefan
ones out
know,
there, actually.
spring of 2026, we can do the training, but in the meantime, there's some videos, right? Very good.
And it should be made clear to stuff, and we're not putting it off to spring of 2026 because we're just putting it off, because that's the right time to be pruning, like, it's not the best time. to be-
Tom is booked until 2020.
Well, I think it's good for them to understand that, it's
No,
not
no.
really good to chop on trees this time of year.
It's also,
Any
yeah.
time of the year, real honestly, you can prune any time of the year. There's certain.
Can't see to do it.
You can't see, a trained person can do it any time of the year. I had staff that pruned all year round. But it's, me personally, I'd rather prune in the winter because you can see, put clothes on. If you're climbing, you're more protected, all that sort of stuff. I prefer to prune in the winter. But there's
And if you're
certain trees.
training new people to
But training
pruning, it's gonna be a lot easier for them. to
I agree.
learn When you can see what you're doing.
Maybe we can preface the email of the 2 videos we send that says that.
We'll discuss all this.
Yeah, great.
When we meet.
Great.
Okay, great. Moving on. We Good with item 2. Moving on to item 3. Observations from Sick Tree Day.
You made them already, like water and pruning.
The water.
Well, when I was thinking about this, coming up to this, and I said, I wonder what's gonna be the main issue. One thing that came into my mind was water, because it's been so dry here.
Yeah.
And, so that was the case with several times. And then just pruning, and again, we could have a pruning class for the public, but it's trying to get them interested, getting them come is another story.
Now,
So.
in Louisville, we always had big turnouts for our public.
And I in Broomfield, that was one of my main events in spring, was I had a pruning class, and probably 15 or 20 people showed up, and we go prune trees. There I had the advantage to kind of move it around to different parks where you could pick, because you want to teach people in pruning class, pruning trees should be done. A homeowner should prune trees, this is my opinion, on trees that are under a certain size. Once they get to a point that you have to climb a ladder, you can't reach it with your pruning, should be hiring an arborist. You should not be climbing a ladder to prune a tree, and that's always been my emphasis when I prune trees. It's to teach them to prune small trees and get them going in the right direction, so you have a great mature tree when the time comes. And a homeowner can prune a tree for a long time, depending on how much they want to spend on their own tools. But you need to emphasize, go hire an arborist when you have to climb a ladder. And that was always my stipulation. So, but we could offer maybe every other year, something we could maybe put together, some sort of pruning classes, and think about where we can try to find some smaller trees to prune.
What I thought we'd see is more bug-related issues because of drought. Did we
That
see any?
That will come, it just
No,
takes,
I didn't see anything.
that will come in a couple of years, you'll start to see. If it continues like this,
We've had a couple years of tough.
yeah, but it's not
summers.
long enough. I mean, when you've had them stressed, then the fires will come be worse.
Well, I'm sad I missed it tree day because I couldn't get my time right. I was driving around town looking for you guys. Where are they? No, it's fine. It's no big deal. No, I felt bad. I was like, Christina, I'm so sorry. I meant to come.
It was really good. I think a lot of people felt,
No, overall, I mean, I thought you guys did great on talking to the public and you have, all of you have excellent knowledge of trees.
well, thanks.
And I think you did a great job.
I'll let Kim. I mean, I'll let
Lisa, I was gonna say, you
Lisa, well, I don't
you
know
can direct
about
that
your
phrase
tree.
from here on over.
I'm
Still learning.
Yeah, but I thought.
We're also,
That's cool, though.
you never stop learning when it comes to plants, right?
But I thought it was great. It was like, we saw 11 people. That is huge
That's
day.
cool.
And we
Some
spent
of them
time
were
with-
not on the list.
We
and
spent
they-
time with all of them.
We spent time with all of them and everybody felt well. And the other ones that put their name on the list but didn't come out.
And that
Yeah, just-
apple tree at the end was like, oh my God, I should have taken a picture of
What was I missed it? I had to
it. You
go.
missed the apple tree, oh, you did.
This tree,
The
we can show it
biggest,
to you from town park.
the biggest apple tree I've ever seen and pruned meticulously for probably what, 70 years.
Yeah.
The thing was like from me to him.
Yeah,
And really like they started, they topped it at 3 foot. They made, I think, 5 main branches and then they just made it was
Trained it meticulously.
meticulously.
Backing up against the park?
Delta,
Yeah.
on the Delta,
Yeah.
Avenue, and then backed up against Park. He also had the most magnificent.
Huge.
hot
No,
dog.
I've seen that apple tree.
Yes, okay,
I've
yeah.
eaten apples off of that.
Yeah.
That's really good. And that cottonwood's 33 feet around. I've measured it. It's massive.
Yeah.
But that apple tree was,
I like it.
I know, it really was. God, the things that get us excited.
Right.
and it had in the middle of it like this little hole that had like compost in it. Christina grabbed some and was like, I'm taking this home.
It was like magical.
Yeah,
I
Putting it in
thought
everything.
it was coffee. They were putting it in
that's
coffee.
cool.
No kidding.
It felt like coffee.
I think it was a
Wow.
success.
Yeah, that was a success.
Quick question about a sick tree that someone else brought up to me this week. The pocket park here in town, there's like a dead tree.
Birch tree. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, put that on your list.
Yeah, can I
For
go?
removal.
I guess I'll wait till item 4.
Oh, the one that's been hanging on for
Maybe?
like.
I don't know.
2 years.
It's in the corner, it doesn't get watered.
Yeah.
In Poulos
I
Park.
took a
it's like-
picture, I'll show you.
I thought I saw it just a month ago and it was fine.
It smells good.
It's been in
All the way in
decline.
the corner.
It's like, I don't-
Oh, not the one that.
It's not the coffee tree.
Oh,
I don't know a lot about trees, but I do know this tree does not look great.
Kimberly, it looks like the one that we saw at those last people's houses at their next door neighbor.
In the front?
It's a weeping birch, yeah. That's what it kind of looks like.
In the
It's-
corner.
They're relatively short-lived. They don't get enough water in our environment.
And what is it?
It's a bird.
Birch.
A weeping bird?
It's a weeping birch.
I have a weeping birch in my yard and it's fine.
Yeah.
You water it.
And water.
Yeah.
There's no water that gets there. They barely
They
water.
don't water the park?
Are we good?
Yes.
All right, number 4
Fifth
is
Street Park. We wrote it down.
Oh, Delta, it's on Delta.
All right, number 4, item 4, discuss regular meetings with Public Works Director. We'll be meeting with Nikki. And we've already covered things that we're gonna talk about. The irrigation plans, the water volunteer group, videos for tree trimming. You have other things there?
The Poulos Park birch.
Poulos Park birch.
Make a relationship.
They need to remove.
Make a relationship with DME vegetation manager.
Oh, very good.
I mean, that's why I said it. It's better than
Oh,
that.
that's
They do need to water. I don't really water my grass a lot, but here's my.
So I talked to Sam
Yeah.
like 2 weeks ago now.
When you're done.
She was gonna get it on the calendar. I don't know what that's,
Okay,
but I'll need to stay on.
yeah, that's good.
Because
Yeah.
On the calendar for
Really
what?
unhappy.
For us to be with Nikki and Steph. Cause I just dropped off, another thing that.
So if it's on the calendar, you can't have more than 2 people still. Okay. Yeah.
But you can stand up.
But I think it's probably also important with Stefan, just if there is something happening with irrigation, right? For us to have representatives chatting with him on a regular basis so that we can like keep abreast of that, maybe?
You're meeting with Steph 4 times a year. And you're meeting with Nikki twice a month supposedly? Okay,
We can put a meeting, we can list the meeting, right?
yeah, you could ask the mayor if we could list one meeting. with
Yeah.
Nikki, then ask the other public.
Yeah,
So, and another thing for Nikki was open lines of communication with tree board.
The whole protocol we established with Corey.
yeah,
Yeah, good.
all right,
Can I just ask a question? You had the protocol with Corey, was that ever even discussed with Nikki?
we really haven't,
She was aware of it. I think she was at the meetings. It was Nikki and Corey for the first few of them.
Okay, so it's not like brand new news to her?
No.
all right. Item 5, discuss subcommittee for study session for trustees for a presentation.
So what we talked about at
Yeah,
Sick Tree
talk a
Day,
little bit, so.
at Sick Tree Day, we started talking about this. And almost everything we talked about tonight will feed somehow into this study presentation. It could be a PowerPoint, it may be a PDF, we don't know the format yet. But I presented 4 of those to Louisville Town Council. And they made a huge impact. Instead of just handing out paper and letting them read it through an email, having that presentation made a huge impact. So we thought maybe something like that might work with all our frustrations, with things falling off the table as they do with this board.
This is like a town meeting, council meeting.
Yeah.
It'd be a special session.
Yeah.
We don't need, I don't even think if we could just set it up even during a regular town.
Yeah.
I think we should. I think just a regular one, get a spot on the agenda.
Yeah, I think you
We
can,
have a
yeah.
5, that forces us to, we want more than 5, we want a spot, not a 3-minute comment. A regular spot on the agenda, so we can do a 10 or 15-minute presentation to the board and just basically give them a state of the urban forest in here in Paonia.
I think, I mean, I was here for a town meeting where like the learning council did a little presentation with a PowerPoint and stuff. I think you guys are pretty capable with things like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a simple.
I can put I don't know a lot about trees, but if you give me information, I'll put a presentation together for you.
And maybe you'd be on the subcommittee.
Great,
Cause I.
great, sorry.
I know, in 15 minutes you need information, they do.
Yeah, we'll go through.
It's 6 minutes, I think, that's max, isn't it? They got that little time clock.
But we don't want to be on the time clock. We want an actual formal presentation of the tree board to the trustees.
You need to be specific about that.
Yeah, no, we can be that way.
Cool.
And I think if we do do that, I think it'd be important for all as many of the board members, the tree board members to show up to the program.
I think a PowerPoint would be great. People just taking that kind of information faster and easier with a well-done PowerPoint.
And PowerPoints are pretty versatile because you can make them static or you can add video, like, you know, it doesn't have to just be boring slides of words, so it's
Yeah.
pretty,
No,
yeah, we can make it engaging.
whenever I did PowerPoints, yes, I had the bullet points,
Yeah.
but I never talked to the board.
Yeah.
I hated those programs that you went, and the guy read you the PowerPoint.
Yeah, and also you don't have too much information on each slide because it's like, it's overwhelming if you want to engage, so, yeah, I think that I'm happy to help out and be on the committee.
Hey, a question for Ruben. Ruben, how would I get a PowerPoint presentation that I made 10 years ago, 7 years ago, to the board? legally.
Um,
I mean,
I will send it to
we,
Samira to share to the board.
but can she do that?
She can,
She can share it to us.
yeah, she can share.
Doesn't have to go to packet and it'll be presented over. the
No, that, you're just trying to avoid every reply all, that's what you're trying to avoid. So if Samira does it, then it's not gonna be reply all to us.
When we send out messages, we usually say do not reply to all. Yeah, because we put you guys all in the blind copy.
So if you didn't get what I sent this weekend, I will do it through the right channels.
Yeah, just send it to Samira and ask her, like, I would like this item to be in an upcoming meeting agenda.
Well, at this point, it may not be. It can be a subcommittee report. But yeah, you're right, it can be a subcommittee report, but I just want the board and Mike to see some examples and be able to put context to this PowerPoints that I made.
Yeah, I can check the same.
Okay.
Yeah, so give you the best options to get it there.
Those happens.
Okay, so anything that we want to convey to the group, send to Sam, she'll send it out there, but.
She'll discuss it with the mayor and Stefan to see how they want to handle it and whether or not they want to add it to the agenda. Because ultimately, the mayor is one who decides what's on the agenda.
But what if I don't want this to be on the agenda? I want it just to, for us
Just to
to
share.
review, yeah, just to share.
Yeah, just tell her, send it to her and say, hey,
Yeah,
share
this
with
is
the board.
just.
Yeah, this isn't agenda ready yet, it's just.
I like, yeah, just stated like, I like to share this with the board, so I think it's informational.
Perfect.
Naomi,
And I feel so bad as to what I did this week.
sure.
Thank you.
So if we could just quickly discuss what we would like to be in this presentation, just big broad strokes, like what is it we want to convey to the trustees?
Because I think at our picnic table, we had a lot of good different ideas.
And
I took a lot of notes.
What trees provide quality of life, reduction of heat, shade, all the things that trees provide, no?
And that, all that information is on that report that Cami
yes,
prepared for, us, so we can do it specific for the trees here for the town of Payote.
Tree
And-
lifespan,
and reference that Cam Young's
Yeah.
strongly in there and how to access that and the value of those trees and honestly, that we really, as a tree board, want to every year, like plant 10 trees
You know,
and
that's,
get that
that's something that we can put
canopy
our
up.
goals in it. I think I'll give my opinion. I think we should prepare something that puts out the value of our urban forest and how it's important to the community. That's one subject. Then you move on to goals and objectives and how you want to move forward in things. Okay, we've removed 10 trees this year, we're going to remove trees or replace those trees. We want to prune 15 trees, whatever it is, we put that on there, all your goals and objectives for the tree maintenance.
but also how we're coming toward the end of lifespan of many of the trees and what's gonna happen if we don't do that. And I think that's probably one of the most important things is for them to understand,
Especially with this climate.
yes,
You know.
and the impact of how the climate may accelerate that process, you know.
I think we need to then talk about what our barriers are and then end it with how the town council can assist us in this and like what their action items are.
Yeah.
Be very clear about that.
You
Like
know,
what our roadblocks are. This is why it's important. These are our goals and what's, great for the community. This is what we need and this is what we need from you.
Right.
So
And I
I
think it's
will,
really, I mean, we talked about doing some visuals. So that there can be like the impact of really understanding, what does it mean to lose lots of trees over a period of 10 or 20 years as these come to the end of the lifespan, right? And it's just, if we can look at how we can create some visuals around that. Because people we don't read and we take in information as a society much more visually because of what the internet has done to our neurology.
so I will,
Just one more thing, is that, of actually using water on trees, like, I think that's a big thing. People are hesitant to really water their trees, and this is what's gonna save the trees and the trees in town. And we have to really change our understanding of that it's okay to use water. It's okay to water your trees because it brings so much more than actually like trying to save that water in ways.
Yeah.
You're not wasting it watering your trees.
Or just, yeah, especially with ditch water, making sure that ditch water is being used efficiently, appropriately during the season.
So I'm gonna send out something to everybody, to Sam, that is a down and dirty outline. Starts off with what are the responsibilities of the tree board? What were our goals for 2025? I think there was a maintenance or right of way thing. But then I concluded in this, and again, it's down and dirty, it's real quick. I am very frustrated by what does the board expect from us? I don't know anymore. We all had that
Yeah, I don't know that
frustration.
we ever,
We all had that frustration around the picnic table. What's the future of this tree board? Everything we try to do, our hands are tied.
Yeah,
We can't do a thing.
yeah,
This year was pathetic with all our goals. So what I did in this, I already have it written, but this down and dirty thing, I have 5 accomplishments we did. I got 9 or 10 that fell off the table.
yeah,
The momentum dropped. I never blamed anybody. I just said, here's what happened. And so I want you guys to read that just as a starting point,
yeah,
just to get talking about it. And then I will also send out some PowerPoints. So Ruben, if I send these PowerPoints to Sam and she sends them out, can we only discuss them at a board meeting?
It's on the agenda.
If it's on the
If it's
agenda.
on the agenda?
so that, I think you have Sam send out the PowerPoint and then make sure do
We
we
have
email
a-
you, Greg, and say, add to the agenda a discussion about the PowerPoint? I think a discussion about the PowerPoint is probably a good idea
And that
anyway.
can come under the subcommittee report.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's a month or two away. Maybe we have one meeting the only agenda item is discussing this presentation.
yeah,
And you make a real good point. We get too many agenda items.
no, that's true.
And we
Yeah.
just need 1 or 2 things to talk.
Well, speaking of which, if you want to extend the meeting, it's 6:30, we need to make a motion to extend it.
Are we done?
I think
Somebody say like we're done,
I
yeah.
think we're gonna adjourn.
I think you wanted to do the committee?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you weren't at the tree day.
I know, and I don't know a lot about trees, but here's the
Oh,
thing,
we need your expertise.
It might
You don't
be-
have to know. what-
it might be useful to have somebody else get the information and then I can just throw it on the PowerPoint.
No, we need your curiosity to ask questions. that
Oh,
we
that's
don't have.
true, I'm the public.
All right, good meeting, you good?
Yeah.
Make a motion to close the meeting, we're closing it?
Cool, second. Good meeting, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Ruben. Thank you, Ruben, for being our moderator.
No, we love it.
We need you here. I'm happy we would collapse.
Totally.
Mark, take over.
You know, water and trees, he's holding you here. One of my projects was, using it during.
It is such a, it's a very blessing.
Tomorrow?
When we get going, it's meant to be.
Outside the trees. It's like the middle side by the trees.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's funny, because it's like, you feel good for a while, and then you just kind of like, oh, this is better. So it's a nice reminder, because you're like, no, you can get outside.
It's not too late.
But I'm feeling stronger, the yard work this weekend, and I just totally collapsed, so I felt great about it.